Howdy everybody, Merry Christmas. Nick, I see you're on. Tord, how are you? Nico. Oh, Tricky Ricky. Oh, your comment's disappearing, so let me see if I can turn the live chat on. Let me know if you guys can hear me. That's always the first step. That is always the first step. Bill, how are you? Just going to get the TV going. Whew. There we are. I think that should work. Loud and clear. Perfect. Thank you very much.
He's up.
Awesome. And the thing is good. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Welcome to the last video of 2024. Yes. Yep. I know it's been a slow December for videos, and this is the first time in 5 years I've actually kind of taken a while off. I haven't really done much in December, much for video stuff. I've been busy, but not with video stuff. But it's been fun, actually. I've been enjoying it. Thank you guys for understanding, and we'll be back in January with lots of stuff. Joe, howdy, how are you? Yeah, just some final things to cover tonight for 2024. The last live on the lighter side of RC After Dark was 2 weeks ago. And if you're watching this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. We got 45 people on. I'm actually curious to see if we get more people on this channel than we do on After Dark, right? Because there's 50-something thousand subscribers, so we'll see what happens. So it'd be kind of cool if we broke 100. I don't think we've done that. I think we've only done that once, yeah.
Yeah, once.
Awesome. I'm just checking the comments here, guys.
We got up to 102.
Kurt, was your question for me? What are the big ticket items on your list for 2025? Good question. Very good question. Hornet Flyer, John, how are ya? Got to slack off every now and then. Yes, agreed. It's been a really nice December, actually. So, cool. So, I made a list of some things that I wanted to touch on tonight. I guess a couple kind of sponsorship things. I touched on this in the last After Dark on our other channel, but here at the lighter side of RC, we are fully bamboo now. We've gotten rid of all of our other printers, and we only have bamboo printers, so we've added another X1 carbon labeled number 2, fittingly, of course, into the printer farm. Not really a farm, but into the printer setup, and I love those printers. If you are looking for a 3D printer, get a bamboo. They work. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive, but they work, and they just work almost every time. Like 99.9% of the time when I upload something to the slicer and print it, it works every single time. So it's really nice.
And easy setup too. Easy,
very easy, yeah. What else do we got? Oh yeah, RCCG machine. So RCCG machine, Michael sent me this lovely light up sign. It's not lit up right now, but we've got a button over there we could push to light it up. Ward, are you all over that?
Yeah, all over it.
It's got a remote button. There we go. Camera kind of washes it out a bit, but it's pretty cool. Thank you, Michael, again. And RCCG machine up there.com. We've got a discount code. So if you're thinking about getting one of these, if you use the discount code at checkout, the lighter side, you'll get $100 off your RCCG machine. And one of the cool things about that product is you are supporting local. So it is built in the USA, everything's done in the USA. So that's a great thing to do. And yeah, it's a great machine. What else? What am I thinking about? Revok wing bags. There's a sale on right now. If you are thinking about getting some Revok wing bags, shoot me an email. I am a dealer for Revok. We do make a little bit of money on those things. We just put a huge order in today from a fellow, and thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Of course, the best covers you can get, the Revok covers. And what else do we got to talk about? What were you pointing at? The Atom. Yeah, that's old news. No. We've got, we brought 2 Atoms in. That was last Saturday's video, I think. Yeah.
We also mentioned it last live that we...
Yeah, the Atoms, last live, the Atoms were coming. We got the Atoms in stock. We did the unboxing video of them. The second Atom, I guess, the darker colored one with the pink and blue, is sold. It's sold like the next day. And I know the owner, and he lives fairly close to me. We won't mention his name because he wanted to keep it private. And we're doing vectored thrust setups on those planes. So, one of the questions that I have, and I don't know if I have the answer yet, I've got a 160 Chikoi in stock, and I've got a Swiwin 190 in stock. Both of those engines are allocated for the Atom, and I'm not sure which one we're going to put in. Suggestions? Let me know. It's not a plane that's been around for a long time, so there's really not a ton of experience, but we'll see. All right. Let's see here. Clear coating the Lancer tonight. Nice, we got lots of comments. All right, so I'm just catching up in the comments, guys. Just give me 2 seconds here. Clear coating the Lancer tonight. Nice, good job. Your repairs are looking awesome. Victor, how are you? Yes, Nick, if you're looking for a 3D printer, get a Bamboo. It's just the way to go, absolutely. JD Freedom, nephew got a little A1 for Christmas. Yes, it's a great little printer. Beautiful presentation, Ward. Kurt said RCCG machine is awesome to use. Yes, totally. Oh yeah, Kurt, yeah, it was you that we did the big wing bag order for. So thank you for that, I appreciate that. Fred, how are you? Revix spelled backwards? Cover! Hornet Flyer, need to order bags for my small Skymaster A10. We can help you with that. Shoot me an email. There we go. So we're all caught up. Let's take a look at the Lancer. I did a little bit of stuff today, actually. Chad, you don't even know about this. Not that you care. So, the stock Atom comes with kind of a square, roundy type tank that's 3 liters. And if we're putting a 190 in this airplane, I don't want to put 3 liters in there. I want some more fuel. So we've got some spare Boomerang tanks here. So this is one of the non-used Boomerang tanks that I'm going to chop up. So what I did today was I took one of the old used Boomerang tanks and I started filling it up and I made marks. So we got 3 liters, 4 liters, 4.5, 5 liters. And what I'm thinking about doing for the Atom is taking one of these tanks, chopping, I don't know, whatever this dimension works out to be. So basically here to here if we're doing a 4-liter tank, and gluing those together. So we end up with a perfect tank that we want to use for that's the appropriate size. And this tank also fits nicely in there, squished down of course. And the other thing I'm thinking about doing is running this upside down so the bottom of the tank is beveled. So if you have a liter of fuel in the bottom of the tank in this orientation, it's going to come up higher than if you have a liter of fuel in the bottom of the tank in this orientation. So got some ideas for tanks there. Now there's nothing wrong with the stock tank at all. I just don't want to have 3 liters of fuel for a 190 or a 160 or whatever it is. So that's the reason for looking at different alternatives to tanks. I also had my Bull tank from the Hispano Aviation Bull, and I was thinking about using that, but then I looked at the Boomerang tank and I was like, well, it just makes more sense to cut that one up because it's almost the same size. So that's where we're at with the that stuff. All of my planes, so those 3 over there, my BDX, my BDXS, and my Rebel Classic, Those have all been switched over to the new radio, the DS24G2. Haven't flown it yet because it's stupid cold here, and the first time we'll get the opportunity to fly planes next is going to be in March when I go down to Tucson, Phoenix, Tucson. Yeah, Tucson. So, all right, so we got some questions here, I think. Oh, Gary, looking forward to seeing more helicopter videos. Yes, coming up soon. That helicopter has been on the back burner, as has been the Glacial, as has been everything. So,
well, we're finally getting all the parts in.
Yeah. Howdy, Stacy. How are you? All right. Joe from New York, welcome. Nick says go with the Franken tank. That's what I'm thinking too, because then we can customize it to be any size we want. So I think 4 liters is perfect for that size because it's still light, but it's a good sized tank. So I think 4 liters is what we'll end up with. Kurt said, is 3 liters sufficient for a K130 G5 for the Picaro? Perfect. So that's what my Rebel Classic has right there. Also my BDXS. They both have 132 engines in them. The Chicoy 132s, and the 3 liters is perfection. The Rebel Classic with the 132 in there, Coco from California, he flies his 12 to 14 minutes, and then he runs out of fuel and lands. But you can really push it if you want. So yeah, 3 liters is a good amount for like a 130 to 140 size engine. Stuart from Tasmania, Australia, welcome. Crazy. Alan said, any news on the BVM T33? Yes, it's sitting over there, and it hasn't done a single thing for about a year.
Yep.
That's the news on it. Awesome, there we go. So we're all caught up. Ward, I'm gonna flip you around so you can be the comment man.
Okay.
And I think that catches us up.
Yeah. Stacy says he's good, and Merry Christmas to all. Belated Christmas.
I think that's all the stuff we've got on the board.
Lots of Coco videos on his channel, on Vector.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, we got a cool new tool.
Oh, yeah.
From my wife.
Yes.
This is a cool one, and I'm going to promote this one. I think it just came from Amazon, but I mean, it's really nothing super special, but it's a power screwdriver. And it's really torquey for what it is. So today we were putting in like cover plates, and this saved a ton of time and saved your wrist. And the other cool thing was torqued it in and then finish it off with this being like a screwdriver, right? Because it locks and you can just use it as a screwdriver. So super cool tool. Yeah, and it's got
the case it comes in too.
It's got 1, 2, 3 and off positions on there, so you can set the torque. Has a little magnetic case thing.
Yeah, show them that. It's not in the video here. Hold them up by your head. There you go. Now open it up.
And yeah, and I mean, I think Katie got this from Amazon, so, but highly recommend it. So far, it's been working really well. Of course, it's rechargeable, 2,000 milliamp, 3.7 volt. So it's probably a lithium ion battery.
It comes with lots of extra heads.
Yeah, pretty cool thing. So
you're welcome for the idea.
There you go. So yeah, definitely impressive little addition to the shop, little time saver, very handy.
Nick says you lie. You moved the table.
Which table?
T33.
Oh yes, I did, and I moved the parts table over there, but it hasn't moved really since. So yeah, oh well.
Yeah, what can you say?
Whatever. Oh, we also got the vectored nozzle kit for the Adams. When we did the unboxing, we didn't have the vectored nozzle kit, and we got the vectored nozzle in. Actually, I'll grab it because it's a pretty little unit.
Fred has a question.
Ask
away. What
away.
is the bird hanging on the wall in the Thunderbird's color?
That is an F-16 that is damaged. I got it from a friend that was getting out of the hobby, and I carted it around for about 5 years or 5 or 6 years, and it was purely, I knew we were going to have a nice big shop, and I knew it was going to end up on the wall. So when we first started the channel, I had it up in the rafters for a couple years, I think. It was quite a while.
Yeah.
And it was super dusty, and but it's perfect up there. I'm actually not a fan of that color scheme. I'm not going to say I hate it, but I really dislike that because I think it's too overdone. But I think it looks great up there.
Maybe I'll have to find mine a little more next year.
So anyways, that's what it's there for. It's not flyable. It's missing some structure inside. The gear's been smashed out of it. I think it's like a CNC or CMC jets or something like that.
Okay, Stuart asked, what is the largest fiscal size engine you can fit in an A10?
In that size A10, so the 1/6 scale A10 from Skymaster, one of the ones we painted for David Jet Guy in California, we put 195s in his, Chicoy 195s. Way too much engine. Like that one on a 140 twin flies beautiful. The 195 is totally overrated. I wouldn't go any bigger. Any weight that you put in the A10 is well behind the CG point, so you have to combat that with extra nose weight. So the heavier you go, bigger engine you go, the more you have to add into the nose. So. Yeah, they might have been 180s, but it's the same can basically. So.
This is the prop plane. He wants to know what that is too.
So here's the vectored nozzle from Boomerang for the Atom, or I guess it's FTL Innovations, but pretty nozzle. So it's a nice thick nozzle. This fits inside the pipe, and then it's got little bushings or little metal things that go through here and through the pipe, little C-clips and stuff. So very nice. There's no slop in here. It's nice and solid. Everything's been welded, so the nuts are welded on there.
There we go.
How's that for view?
I got it in there now.
So the nuts are welded on there. You've got the actual tabs, have a little spot weld on them. So it's a nice kit. Very impressed. Carbon rods, of course, for the actuators, and they are nice and thick as well too. It's not flimsy at all, so very strong. And then the plates that come in here. We're good with you?
Yep.
So it comes with obviously all the hardware, ball joints, blind nuts, L brackets. This is the setup for the side to side or sitting beside the pipe. And this is the setup that goes above the pipe for up and down. So yeah, nice kit. But if you're ordering the Atom or the Lancer, make sure you order it separate because it does not come with the plane.
Katie just came by and left, guys. Sorry.
I tried to convince her to come on the live tonight. She's been in a cleaning frenzy the past 2 days. So.
And Nick says you got to go see Martin for some vector thrust tuition.
Absolutely. Oh, and if you guys don't know, we've got a podcast channel. It's called the RC Air Experience. And we just had Martin Pickering on there last week. And the episode just came out yesterday. Or today. Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
So that was a fun interview for sure. It was really nice chatting with Martin. We met for the first time in Jet Power in Germany, and that was cool to meet him and see him. And then we obviously had him on the podcast, and that was a blast. So.
And Victor also said, I hope you guys like the new F-16 photos they took today.
Nice looking plane, Victor. That looks nice. I think it's a 1/6 scale, I believe, is the size, right?
1/7?
No, he has the one from Global Jets is the one that he got.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it's 1/6, so.
It looks like a nice plane.
Mm-hmm.
Interested.
Awesome. Mike from Australia. Thank you, Mike, for watching.
Scott Strimple.
So Mike's question,
Sent you
yeah,
a
this is
gift.
the time. If you guys want to ask questions, ask away. Mike said, do I do this for a living or do I have another job? I do this, I do have another job. So I work in construction. I manage a construction company. I spend a lot more time doing this than I do working at my regular job. I think that probably answers everything. So it's not necessarily
at work you're doing this
You
planes.
do 60 hours here, and
Yeah.
30 there.
Exactly. That's exactly. I don't know if you heard that. I do 60 hours here or more, and then 30 hours at my regular job. So
But he likes here better.
very much so. Yeah, 1.6 with a 190 turbine. Cool. Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, what else? I don't think we've got anything else to talk about.
Yeah, there's another Australian here. Been watching your videos for a while, and you're doing great customer bills.
I already answered that question. You're behind, Ward. Come on.
No, that's just recently. And okay, and
Oh yeah, we're rocking Aero Panda today. Figured we would support the Panda.
No.
You're rocking Demon Cortex. There we go. It's so cold here that I need to wear a long sleeve shirt. That's the reason why.
so how's the F100 coming along?
F100, we have done nothing on the F100 as well. The F100, we have almost all the parts in stock. Actually, we've got all the parts in stock, including the engine for it. We are waiting on the test bags from Revoc. And but that doesn't really stop us from doing the continuation of the project. So once we get back into the regular scheduled videos, we are going to wrap up the Glacial. We are going to wrap up the helicopter. We are going to get started on the F100. We are going to get started on the Atom. And we've also got my Rebel Hot should be here soon. And we should see our F-15 from Skymaster show up in early January, I believe, is the plan. So, yeah, that's how things are coming together with projects. So,
Good. Johan says he's getting a Schwinn 120.
nice.
You can probably see it up on the screen there.
Nope.
Okay, it's quite a ways back though.
Our weather here. Are you asking about us, Victor, or are you asking about somebody else? We're pretty nice right now. We're today was 1 degree Celsius. And that is like 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty nice this time of year. Usually January starts to get cold for us. January and February are pretty much cold all the time, or our coldest months, but we never know.
A lot of the snow's gone,
Yeah.
but we're getting some starting Monday, I guess.
RC Barn, awesome. Yeah, I mean, Boomerang's knocking it out of the park with their projects. Their planes are, some of the stuff they've got coming is amazing. Obviously, the Atom is built by FTL Innovations, but obviously they've got I don't know what the terminology is, but they've got the rights to it in North America, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, regardless, it's a cool plane. Their F-16 that's coming up is exciting. They kind of just announced that a day or two ago. They've got the J-10. What else did I hear about? I can't remember. But yeah, they've got lots of cool projects. So Boomerang's doing a great job, and it's nice to see them coming out with lots of cool new planes.
RC flying veteran, he's loved the OV-10 build. Do you think you might get one in the future?
It is not my cup of tea at all. I like planes that make me nervous, that make my heart race, that give me the adrenaline shot. So that's why I fly what I do. I don't really enjoy flying slow things. I don't really enjoy flying things with props that spin. I like flying the, what's that red and white plane that we built with the Colm engine?
Oh,
The Strega. The Strega is cool because it's freaking scary to fly. So that's why I like flying it, because it's scary and it weighs a ton and it's pretty nuts. So but yeah, my thing is basically turbine aircraft. That's what I enjoy flying. So
17-pound engine. Jesus.
yeah.
And Nick says he's looking forward to the F-15. Amazing 35% of lift comes from fuselage.
Yeah. Don from Philadelphia, welcome. Yeah, the 15, it's pretty nuts actually. Normally with Skymaster planes, I would go and pick them up from the shipping depot. The F-15 comes in a wooden crate, and it's too big to fit in the back of a pickup truck. So we're actually getting it special delivered right here to the shop. Yeah, because it's just too big, and it weighs a lot. So I can't even bring my airplane trailer because you need 4 or 5 guys to actually put it in the trailer, because you can't use the forklift because there's a ramp on the trailer. So yeah, anyways, it's going to be showing up here to the shop. So
Okay, Michael Timms wants your thoughts on the King Tech turbines versus Schwinn. That's a cruel. That's here we go. How many people can we tick off tonight? You're making him sweat.
oh, not sweating, contemplating.
I'm gonna play way.
Danger.
I flew King Tech and I supported King Tech for many, many years and never had an issue with the excessive number of turbines that had to go back for service. They always treated me very well. But when your wife, who isn't really observant with that kind of stuff, makes the comment to you one day that it seems like you always have a turbine going in for service, and I didn't have a lot of planes at the time, that kind of raises some red flags. So I'll stop it there. Lots of people fly King Tech, great engines. They all have problems, whether it's Swewin or Chikoi or King Tech or JetCat or any engine is going to have a problem eventually. I just choose not to support King Tech anymore. So
I have a 100 that's in my lap. How many times do I fly that?
one of my best turbines I ever owned was like an original brown and orange case King Tech 140. It was crashed multiple times, serviced multiple times, rebuilt. Great engine, and great engine. So
He avoided the radio thing all over again. Because that's what Nick was saying. The radio
Yeah.
thing all over again. We got 94 viewers.
I don't know what Tricky Ricky's saying.
Yeah. Floyd asked, the lighter side of RC, have you done turboprops? Yes.
Yes. Done a few turboprops, did a PC21 build from Sebart, another PC21 build from Sebart, the Skymaster PC21 with the JetCat SP10 engine, and I think that's all of them, I believe. So yeah, we've done a bunch of turboprops. Again, it's not my cup of tea. Not a fan of them. They're kind of cool, but just not really my thing.
Is there a turboprop from Sweden?
No,
Are they thinking about it?
no. Chad's question was there?
It's on here.
Oh, you're watching too? Oh, somebody was asking that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweden does not make a turboprop. I think they've released some videos of them checking or trying some turboprops and stuff, but yeah, it's...
Okay, Strelok asks, what is better to take for an MB339HH Chikoi 95 or 132, or fly 132, but it will also fit other planes?
I would put the 95. If those are your two options that you're looking at, I would put a 95 in there. The 132 is just physically, I think, too big. The 339 has a fairly small tailpipe. So the one that we built on the channel, we put a Sui 180 in there. The owner's very happy with it. It flies great. And even the 95 is going to be a lot of engine. So that's the way I would go.
Warwick asked, will you be visiting the radio again? No.
Who asked that?
It's Warwick.
Oh, Warwick Mitchell?
Yeah.
No, we will not be revisiting any radio tests in the future.
You still get it, for crying out loud.
Try and avoid that.
Okay. What is your favorite jet kit manufacturer and why?
Ooh,
That's
good
a
question.
good one. Whoa.
Any recommendations for you? Oh, did you look back at that question? Is that one you found back? Okay.
Yep.
Favorite jet kits? There's a few. I can't pick one. Elite Aerosports makes great aircraft. They are very strong and very well built aircraft. So I really am enjoying Elite Aerosports aircraft. I don't have a ton of experience. I mean, we've built the Razor, the Picaro, the BDX, the BDXS, another BDX. So I guess I've got some experience, but that's fairly recent experience. Been very impressed with their aircraft. Carf Models makes a great aircraft. Again, they're generally a little bit lighter, but great aircraft. Boomerang, amazing aircraft. They've been knocking it out of the park over the past few years. So those are probably the top 3 as far as my recommendations go. There's a lot of other aircraft out there, but I don't, like a lot of guys fly pilot RC aircraft. I've never experienced anything to do with pilot. So I don't know their jets, I don't know their prop planes, so can't make a fair comparison on that. The one thing that's important, I think, is you want a plane that's built light and or strong. And if it's got both of those characteristics, you're really off to a good start. So.
Warwick also mentions, have you heard anything on the future of Skymaster, as Anton recently was talking about his retirement?
Yeah, that I don't know about. I mean, Anton's been obviously probably the guy that's been pushing Skymaster forward for many, many years. I mean, when they've got new kits coming out, it's him, right? I mean, let's just so I don't actually know anything, but let's just say hypothetically, if he was to retire January 1st, 2025, they still have a massive number of aircraft that fly great, are built very well, are well designed. So they could conceivably just continue plugging along, making those aircraft for many years. Obviously, lots of people want to see the new, but they've got great aircraft. And I mean, if we lost Anton, we would just miss initially some of the new kits coming out. I don't know the plan going forward, though, when he decides to retire.
And Tord asked, did you check out Maurice model kits, wood jet kits at Jet Power?
Yeah, I checked them out. They're definitely unique and interesting. They make some beautiful aircraft. Again, it doesn't really fit in with what I like to do in my business model. So, I mean, ultimately, guys, for me, this is a business, right? That's really what it comes down to, is this is a business. If I was to get one of those kits for myself and build it, it's going to eat up a ton of time. If somebody was to pay me to build that kit for them, it's going to be a very expensive kit because it's going to take a ton of time for me to build it for them. So for the average Joe that wants to build a kit for themselves, somebody that just can plug away at it over the winter, I think it's a great idea. And it really gives you the full scope of everything that is involved in the plane. I mean, you get to see every part of the project coming together. So I think it's very unique and definitely fitting for some people.
Okay, Strick asks, he bought a MiG-29 from a Black Horse. When will you have it on your review? Are you familiar with this plane?
I am not. So my projects either come from 3 places. So the primary thing is going to be projects from customers that want me to build things for them. The second thing would be projects that I want to own myself and build for myself. And the third thing would be manufacturers that send me aircraft to review, put together, build for myself. So if somebody was approaching me about doing an aircraft build on something and it's something I'm not interested in, I'll actually say no. So yeah, sometimes you won't see stuff that doesn't really fit with the channel. I know there's lots of other guys out there that have big channels that do everything from foamies to everything in between. They have turbines on there, foamies on there, all this stuff, and that's just not what we do here. It's basically mostly high-end turbine aircraft and other cool aircraft, unique aircraft. Not that foamies aren't cool, but not really my cup of tea.
Oh, come on.
Ward's
You want to do an aerofoam?
Ward's dying out there. Well, we got 105 people on. Just gonna flip you guys around because I lost my cameraman. Let's see here. I'm just gonna flip down on the comments. Don said, asked if I built a PC-6. I did. That was a MR Aero Design kit, and it was a ton of time. But that was when the channel first started, so we didn't have a huge backlog of projects. You look at our backlog right now. What do we got here? There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's only 15 in the queue. No problem. It's like a week's worth of work. So yeah, there was a lot more time available when we first started the channel. Yeah, the turboprop market's pretty small. Any recommendations from Marco? Any recommendations for UATs, MAP, Interairco? Interairco, they're not readily available here in North America, so I don't recommend them. We are a Model Aviation's product dealer. I've got tons of them in the stock area of the shop. I just haven't added them to the website, but that's the one that we put in 60% of our projects. We're also waiting for our FCT order, Flight Composite Tech order, which are like the stiffer glass type or plastic type cylinder UATs. So those will be coming as well too, and then we'll have those on the website. We've been waiting for our order for a while. Salim's a busy guy, and he was very inundated with orders after Jet Power, so which is good, great for him. Joanne said, what are the advantages of using vSpeak versus plugging the ECU directly into a Jetty receiver? The only difference with vSpeak with a Sweewin engine is you get fuel consumption. If you take the regular turbine telemetry lead and you plug that into your Jetty receiver, you'll get all the turbine data. You just won't get the fuel consumption. That's the only benefit that vSpeak gives you on the Jetty setup. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, 105 viewers, 108 now. That's super cool. If you guys are just hopping on or have hopped on recently, give the video a thumbs up, please. There's 190 of you on and only 43 thumbs up. So, yeah. Mike said, what military aircraft jet is your favorite to fly? I honestly haven't flown a ton. The A-10 I really like because it's, for us, it kind of does everything. It lands on grass, it flies really well, it's a fairly easy flyer, it sounds and looks so mean. The A10 is great. I really want to get an F4 from Skymaster, so that one's really nice. Nick said, hey, saw the damaged MiG-17 is getting rebuilt at the moment. Yes, I believe. I'm not sure who it went to. I think the guy emailed me that picked it up. But yeah, anyways, the new fuselage was shipped out to the previous owner, and I think it's been purchased since. Hello from New Zealand. How do you choose between Carf Rebel Hot and Carf Rebel Classic? You don't. You buy both.
Buy both.
And you buy one in a color like red, and then you buy another one in a color like pink, which is the one magenta, which is the one that we've got coming. So, yeah, if I was to, but to answer your question seriously, if I was to only have the choice of owning one of those, I would own the Rebel Classic. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit more gentle to fly, still fairly portable, but both are great aircraft. The Rebel Hot is, a little bit hotter and can get away and get smaller a little bit quicker as well too. So, but we do have one of those coming. Let's see here. Don said that's called job security. Yes, it is. That's like, at least brings us to June, so, and probably a little bit longer. The RC Barn said, I do traditional balsa and ply modeling on my channel, from rebuilds to building from plans. I like watching the lighter side. I do get a lot of building tips and dreaming about higher end builds. Thank you for watching. Dave said, any gotchas to look out for when migrating from DS24 to Gen 2? Don't do what I did in the live video by deleting all your models. And actually what happened, if you guys watched that live, what happened was I highlighted all my models, I was dragging them over, and because there was a lot going on and I'm not using a mouse, I'm using the stupid keypad thing on my laptop that I don't use ever, except for airplane stuff. It actually ended up in a separate folder. So
the trash.
It was
folder.
it was in the update folder on my DS24 G2. So what happened is I took all those models from my old radio and I was migrating them and moved it into the update folder on my old radio. That's what happened. So after we were done that live, I got to thinking they've got to be somewhere. So I plugged my old radio back in. I started going through all of the folders and I found all of my models in the update bin. So I took those models, dumped them back into the model section, problem solved. So yeah, just don't do that. But otherwise the change is super simple. It's really, really easy. And yeah, so let's see here. Mark said, hit that like and subscribe, share, show, love, happy. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Lots of Australia people there. It must be like afternoon there.
2 hours. So
Nick said his builder's watching
9 o'clock
vids for heads up. Nice.
10 o'clock in the morning.
You see any issues? Marco said, you see any issues with going BVM Go Fly Gold? No, but you need to you should take those planes 100% apart and put them back together. They are not receiver ready planes. We got the Venom F-16 in, which I think was a Go Fly Gold package, and all of the servos, I mean, I knew I was doing it from the beginning anyways, but we were switching out all the servos to begin with. So we switched out all the servos. Nothing was Loctited, nothing was solidly mounted permanently. So those are things to watch out for. So you should expect that you should really take that entire plane apart and put it back together. So what heat resistant paint would you recommend? And would you paint the whole inside aft section of a jet? No. Absolutely not, but I'll show you what I recommend. So for heat resistant paint, BVM heat shield is basically the material to use. There is no reason to paint the entire aft section of a plane unless it's a poorly designed setup. So if you think about, like, I'll give you some examples. So the Carf Ultra Flash. Some very early generations of the Ultra Flash had a full ducting system, so a full bypass system. So if you're not familiar, the air comes in, goes through a duct, goes through a duct around the turbine, goes through the tailpipe, and out the back. In that situation, without a way for air to get in between the inner layer of pipe and the outer layer of pipe, you're not getting good air movement there and you can get heat issues. So the solution on that plane was to add 2 NACA ducts, which are the triangle ducts, like tiny little things, little cutouts in the bottom of the fuselage. As soon as you did that, that supplied enough air between the 2 pipes to allow proper cooling. BVMs are very much the same way, but on pretty much all of our current airplanes that are unplug this, unplug the mics, guys. Can you hear me now? Gotta start over. Oh my gosh. How about now? Can you hear me? Good, good. All right, so hopefully all that came through, but anyways, we'll start again. So on an aircraft like this, you've got air moving in different areas, right? It's not a bypass system. Air's coming in here, coming in here. Perfect, you guys can hear me. So on a pipe setup like this, when you've got the outer layer and the inner layer is always inset a little bit, and that creates a Venturi effect, which pulls air between these 2 layers of pipes. That's why you'll always see pipes designed this way. So if you were to put heat shield in the entire back of this plane, you'd be adding a lot of weight for absolutely no reason. This aircraft sitting at idle, sitting at full throttle on the ground, doesn't even get warm when you touch the fuselage. So yeah, it's really not necessary to add heat shield unless you're doing specific things. We add it sometimes in specific areas that are kind of crucial areas that are really close to heat sources that don't have proper air movement. So it's going to sound a little bit funny now because we're just using the audio on the iPhone. So just looking through here. Oh, do you primarily use PLA filament? Good question. I'm going to go back a little bit faster, or a little bit further. Kenrick said we need to try there we go. We need to try Rebel Max. So RC Flyer 2001, if I purchase the Jetty DS16, it will be coming with an R10 receiver. Do I need to get a central box for my planes also, or can I just use the receiver? You can just use the receiver. So in my Atom, we will be using the Rex 12. This one has the power leads cut off, but these have 2 power leads with the MPX connector. This is the receiver that we use. So this gets plugged into the Cortex. So we've actually got 12 channels here, 6 on the Cortex. But this is all we need for smaller planes. So generally anything 2 meters-ish and below, we don't use a central box for. And generally we're using one battery to power the entire plane. My Rebel over there has one battery to power turbine and plane. The BDX, because it needs nose weight, has 2 batteries, one for turbine, one for receiver. My Rebel Hot, that is going to be coming, will be set up exactly like that Rebel. So one battery for the turbine, for the receiver, for everything. It works beautifully. Most guys don't recommend it. They think it's a stupid idea, but we do it all the time and it works beautiful. Chad, are you still happy with the F-15?
Oh, I got a little bit of fixing.
He's got some fixing to do, but I think overall he's happy.
Had a hard landing.
Yes. Bill said, how did you get the blue DS24 G2? When you're good, you're good. It was a gift. It just showed up, and somebody really likes me. We'll just leave it at that. Let's see here. Oh yeah, PLA filament. No, I don't generally use PLA filament for many things. I use it for doing like stuff that my wife asks me to print, but usually I'm using, my favorite filament is PETG CF. So Bamboo Labs PETG carbon fiber filament, that's my favorite to use. It's quite heat resistant and prints very nice. So that's what I do most of my stuff out of. Anything that's going in a plane, I'm pretty much using that for anything. Here's a V-Speak fuel flow mount. This is PETG CF, carbon fiber. So nice and smooth, easy peasy. I think we're just finally getting caught up here. No sound, no sound, no sound, no sound, no sound. No sound, no sound, no sound. I can hear you, I can hear you, I can hear you.
This, Don, you purchased that Carolina Customs kit.
Oh yeah.
Ask him if he's received it, because a friend of mine.
Well, he can hear you.
Their, chipmunk, and he ditched them.
Well, I think he's got it because he said it'll make it for an interesting build when he gets around to it. So.
Oh wow.
Did you get it, Don? Chat. Oops. I don't want to. Oops. I just tapped on his name and it was like, remove Don? No. Sorry, Don. I don't think I removed you. I think you're still here.
I was trying to get the Super Chipmunk from Carolina Customs. And,
no go.
Well, the guy took off with his money.
Jeez.
Luckily, he paid PayPal.
So we got 2 good questions here from Warwick. We said, how did you get into this as a business? Well, I did it for a long time for free. And then I did it for a long time for making like $1 an hour. And then I did it for a long time making $10 an hour. And now I do it as a business. Basically, it's doing it for a long time for nothing, getting really good at it, and then finally being able to charge proper amounts for it. So, Nico said, how many milliamps do you usually use on a single battery jet? Good question, but more importantly, on a single battery jet, I always do 2 flights and recharge. Doesn't matter, milliamps don't matter. So the Rebel Classic right there, I've got, I'll grab the batteries and show you. So we use, oh, I probably can't hear you now, too far away. Forget I don't have my mic on. So the Rebel Classic, this is the battery we use in there. So it's a 5,000 milliamp 2-cell. So I've got a few of these, but I show up at the field. These are fully charged. Fly 2 flights. This goes on the charger. Put the other battery in. Fly 2 flights. This one's more than charged by that time. So basically 2 flights, recharge. That's the standard. I don't try and extend it. I don't try and push it out. I don't count milliamps. On the single battery setups, it's 2 flights and charge. That's how I do it. Stacy's just getting on. Yes, Stacy, that's a light up sign with my logo. You were at the shop like last week.
David's on, huh?
Oh, is he? He's all the way from, where are you, David? Argentina. Hey, Jay, how are you? Willie Sweeney, how are you? Merry Christmas. RC Flyer 2001, ask away. Oh, so Don said he has it, the giant
Yeah,
scale
I've seen
85 inch.
Well, he's lucky because there's a lot of reviews that say people haven't been getting
That's,
it.
well, yeah, you're lucky. That's good. JDL Freedom, what does your event lineup look like for 2025? So the ones that I know of now, I don't know all the dates, but the first one is going to be Tucson Jets in kind of the middle of March, whatever that is. So we'll be going down there for the entire week. There's a couple in May, but I'm not quite sure about those yet. Like there's one in somewhere in Montana. I can't remember the name of it, but that's always one that I've kind of wanted to go to. So, but the ones that I know for sure that I'll be at is Tucson Jets, Montana Jets in June at some point. Towfield in July. Towfield's like 3 hours north of us at an airport. Usually go to Little Less Airport for July 1st, but haven't been there in a couple of years. Lethbridge, that's like August-ish, I think. We went to Saskatoon this year, which was amazing. I think I did a live from Saskatoon. The field is like mind-blowing cool. So, and I'm sure there'll be other ones popping in too. So, but those are the ones that that we've got in the books for right now. So, am I able to use nickel metal hydride batteries with Jetty? I was thinking of buying batteries from Jetty. I don't think Jetty uses nickel metal hydride batteries. I think you're thinking about lithium ions. So the Jetty batteries that look like nickel metal hydride are lithium ions. And good batteries, nothing wrong with them. Lots of guys use them, so that's a great option as well too. And they're very similar to, lithium ions are very similar to lipos as far as power and voltage and everything goes. So, howdy David from Argentina, welcome. Yes, Nick, never stretch a battery. That's absolutely it. Nico said, did the parts for the counter-rotating system come in? Yes, they came in. I got it figured out. I just haven't put any time in on the glacial for pretty much all of December. So we'll get back on that pretty soon. Tucson, Arizona. Yes, it's a long drive for us. It's 2,500 kilometers to Tucson. So usually I leave on the Friday, take 3 days to get there. So probably get there on the Sunday, and then flying there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, and then drive back Sunday, Monday type thing. So.
LA Jets.
Oh yeah, LA Jets, have to go there again. That was a blast. Yeah, if you can make it to Tucson Jets, Victor, it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really nice field. So, yes, LA Jets in August. Nick said, how do you feel about stuff being cheaper once you become part of the USA? Well, let me tell you something, Nick. All of my friends around me complain that our dollar is so terrible. I get paid in like 99% American dollars. So I love it right now. It's amazing. So I don't mind at all. The one in Montana I have is May 15th to the 18th in Billings. Yes, that's the one that I was thinking about. Magic City Fly-In and Jet Rally.
Saskatoon.
Mark said F14 XXL finished kit, not weathered, built same as the last one you did. What would I be looking at? Oh, for shipping on that? I would suggest if you if you have somebody building it for you and they're located somewhere else, I would get it driven to your location. Shipping on that kit is not a good idea. The F-14s, the SU-30s, SU planes from Skymaster, they really need to be transported on their landing gear. The SU, as an example, this is going to be kind of rudimentary, but the SU, if you imagine this is the main part of the fuselage and this is the nose, right? So you put the plane on a flat surface and your nose, which is a very heavy part of the plane, is totally unsupported. And then this part of the fuselage is very, very light. There's not a lot of structure in there designed to hold weight. So yeah, the SUs, F-14 XXLs, they should really be transported on their landing gear. The ones we built here, that's how they got transported down to Montana. That's how they got transported from Montana to California. That's how they live, and how they get transported when they go flying is on their landing gear. So if you have somebody building one of those for you, do not put it on a stand and get it driven, transported to your location. That's the best way to do it. Let's see here. Wesley from New Jersey. Nice to see you. Terry said, if I recall, sometime in November in Mesa, Arizona as a jet rally. Yes, I can only drive to Arizona once though. To do it twice in a year is a lot of driving. It's like 3 days of driving, right? It's 2,500 kilometers one way. So it's like a good solid 2 to 3 days. Nico said, I never pushed batteries. Just wondered if you had the number for 2 flights. Just love knowing how much the system uses. So on the Rebel Classic, you're using on the single battery setup with a 132 engine, you're using about 400 to 500 milliamps per flight. So usually when I'm charging this battery again, I'm putting about 1,000 to 1,100 back in. So it really doesn't use very much of this battery. But one thing that happens is, because LiPos start off at 8.4 volts, and after 2 flights, if you try and do a 3rd flight, when the turbine's starting and the glow plug's igniting and the starter motor's spinning, your voltage will drop to like 7.2 and sometimes below that, so you'll get a low voltage warning. But as soon as the glow plug stops and the starter motor stops, it goes right back up to 8 volts or 8.1 or whatever it's at. So.
Now the Masterfield thing there is in November.
Yeah.
So, but that's still a long ways.
Yeah, a lot can change between now and November. It's like almost a year away.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Whoa, it's been an hour already. Crazy. All right, guys, we'll give it a 10-minute warning. We got some fun things we got to wrap up in the shop tonight. So, if you have any further questions, ask away. 111 people on. This is a new record for our lives. That's
a lot of thumbs
amazing.
up.
And yes, give the video a thumbs up, please, if you're hopping on. Thumbs ups, thumbs ups. We've got 111 viewers. Whoa, right there. And only 78 thumbs ups. Come on, more thumbs ups. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else cool that we got. I don't think.
Yeah, I think we got it all covered. Stacy goes out, last call.
Last call.
Turbine sizes versus grass runways.
Ooh. I wouldn't worry about that so much. 10-minute warning, we always upsize due to our elevation. So just purely the elevation, and some guys can't comprehend this, but our elevation sucks so much of the oomph out of a turbine. So to give you an example, my phone here might die, but let's just say a 240 engine. So you have 24 kilograms times 2.2. You should get out of a 240 Newton engine at sea level at 15 degrees, you should get 52.8, 53 pounds of push. We get, on average, about a 20% decrease just because of our elevation. So on a day like today where you're almost 0 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, we're getting about 44 pounds of push out of a 240 Newton engine. Has nothing to do with the engine. It's purely just because of our elevation. On a hot day, we can see a 25 to 30% decrease in thrust out of an engine. And that all comes down to your density altitude. So we're at 3,300 feet. If it's a plus 30 degree day Celsius, very humid, our density altitude can move up to 8,500 feet. I've been at events sometimes where they've had the density altitude figured out, and it was 85 or 8,800 feet, I think, one day, which is nuts, right? Your turbine has such little power. So that's usually what we base it off of, not necessarily grass or asphalt.
DK62 says, what are the flight characteristics of the Skymaster A10?
It's big. It flies like a trainer. You can fly it really hard. It's a very easy flyer as long as you're not flying the money. It slows down incredibly well. The Skymaster A10 has, well, if you order it, it has the split ailerons, right? So the air brakes. Those split ailerons don't change the flight characteristics at all on the plane. So when you're coming in for a landing, you can split those ailerons like this. You have to carry about 50% throttle to continue flying the plane when you're at full flaps, split ailerons. It's pretty magical, and you can just spot land that thing wherever. It's amazing.
Couple of questions here, John. The question is, how do you determine thrust required on a plane?
Yeah, I answered that already.
Oh, okay. That came in after the guy.
Oh, maybe I didn't answer that
No,
one.
you didn't answer that. He asked you about the difference in elevation. But he wants to know, how do you decide what kind of thrust?
Oh, Don said, yeah, how do you determine thrust required? Always go bigger.
Go big or go home.
I mean, you know, some planes, like, I'll use my planes as an example. So my Rebel Classic, mine's got a 132, great engine. Stacy, who's on here, his has a Sweewin 140. I actually like the flight characteristics of Stacy's Rebel Classic more than mine. I don't know why. It just feels different. And every time I fly his, I actually like it more than mine, even though they're set up almost exactly the same. So I don't know what the deal is there, but you know, the Rebel Classic, a 120 to 140 is perfect. The Atom right there that we're going to be putting together, you could fly that plane with for an aerobatic plane off of a 100 Newton turbine. It's going to fly great. If you're doing any sort of thrust vectoring, you want to be going up to the upper size, which is a 160, because we get such a huge reduction here at elevation. We're going to be going to probably 190s in ours. BDX, it's got a 3-liter tank, the BDX S, the top one, the Voodoo one. That plane, when David owned it, had a 160 in it. It originally had a 132 in it. The 160, great engine. I flew it with a 160 in California, lots of power, but it goes through fuel a little bit quicker, which cuts your flight time down. So in that one, the 132 is perfection. My regular BDX over there, the big girl, with my pink and logo and stuff on it. It's got a Chikoi 240 in there. I actually wish I had a bigger engine in it. It still flies great, but again, because of our thrust loss, it's like comparable flying it with a 190 at sea level at our elevation on an average day, right? So yeah, you kind of just have to base it on what you want to do with the plane and also what the plane's designed for. I mean, the Atom, it's got a very thick pipe in there, so I'm not worried about putting a 190 in there because it's going to handle it no problem. So, and that's like RC Barnes said, that's why they've got a throttle. So.
Yeah. One person mentioned how grass feels. You should have bigger tires than small ones.
JDL Freedom in 2025, the year we see you hover a jet. Yes. I never thought I would do it, but it is. We're going to be hovering a jet in 2025. That's the point. Yeah, when I go down to sea level and fly planes, everything's really floaty, and it's pretty nice to fly down there. But obviously, we don't have that luxury. So.
And Jordan asks, "How do you feel? What are your thoughts about fuel bags?"
I like fuel bags. We are still not allowed to use them in Canada. I don't know. I'd really have to use one to give it a full review on it. Some of the feedback I've heard, they're a little more difficult with filling procedures and stuff. Yes, you save a little bit of weight. They're only good on certain planes, right? If you have planes with conformal fuel tanks where they're fitting beside ducts and stuff, like a Picaro that we did, the Picarito, a fuel bag is just not a candidate in there, right? So it depends on the plane. But yeah, I mean, I think they're nice. They're stronger than I thought they were. That video I have of Jet Power with me jumping on one, and Martin Pickering also has the same video jumping on one. Way stronger than I thought they were going to be. So yes, maybe I'll make it down to Billings in May. I think that would be kind of a fun trip down there. Hovering is fashionable these days. Yes. Yes. Awesome, guys. Cool. Yeah, I mean, and if you're in Canada and you want to use a fuel bag, I don't know, do whatever you want. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna come over and take your birthday away. So, yeah. Cool. Well, that's it, guys. 71 minutes. Yeah, and counting. So thank you for tuning into the live, the last video of 2024. Next video, I think we are going to have the regular video schedule resumed probably a week from today on Saturday. I think we'll start having the videos back. But yeah, like I said, we're going to wrap up the Glacial. We're going to wrap up the Roban heli, the Apache heli. We're going to get started on the F100. We're going to get started on the Atom from Boomerang Jets. And we have so many cool projects coming up for 2025. It's going to be a wonderful year, and we have some really cool stuff coming. So thank you, everybody, for supporting the channel. Thank you for your positive comments. And if you are a negative commenting person, thank you for the negative comments as well, too, because any publicity is good publicity. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you
Happy New Year.
in the next video.